Hello folks, it's the Pace Chaser again. Welcome to another one of my videos. This is another one of the book reviews that I do from time to time. And this one we're looking at the book A Trolleybus to the Punch Bowl by Phillip J Taylor. The Trolleybuses and Routes of the South Lancashire Transport Company Limited, 1930 to 1958. Now this has got a cover price of £32, but don't panic, this is the Pace Chaser channel. There is absolutely no way on earth that Pace Chaser is paying £32 for a book. So we'll come back to price later on, but suffice to say it'll be cheaper than that. So the book was published in 2002 by Triangle Publishing. It's a 200-page hardback book with a dust jacket. What it isn't is a history of South Lancashire Transport. It doesn't purport to be, and it's not. It doesn't give the history. If you want the history of South Lancashire Transport, there's various sources online. Or if you can track down a copy of it, there's this book, South Lancashire Tramways by E.K. Stretch. Despite the title, that covers the trolleybus days as well. You can sometimes find that on eBay and on Amazon. So have a look out for that if you want to know the full history. So the main part of this book is a photographic journey along the routes. Atherton to St Helens, Leigh to Bolton, Atherton to Farnworth via Swinton. So it takes you on a series of photographs along the routes. Two of those were the longest, or among the longest trolleybus routes in the UK at about 14 miles. And there's chapters on the trolleybus abandonment, 1955 to 1958. There's a colour section, we'll get back to that in a minute. There's a fleet history of the trolleybuses, again we'll have a look at that, and there's various miscellaneous bits and pieces. So there's a short introduction, mainly the author's reminiscences, to be fair, and a brief overview of the system, but not a history, as I say. And then we get on with the photographic sections. There are some then and now photographs, but again bear in mind this book was published in 2002, so the now photographs are often out of date. There are more then and now ones on the St Helens route than there are on the others. There are a few on the other ones, but they're more numerous on the St Helens one. Just to illustrate what I mean about the then and now photos, this is a photo of Platt Bridge Depot, obviously in days when it was in use. There's a photo that's a now photo when the book was published, taken in 1998. You can see the depot in use as an industrial estate. And then courtesy of Google Maps, we see the same site in 2024. As you can see, the depot has been demolished. Some new flats have been built on part of the site, and the rest of the site is just laid fallow. You can see the base of the yard there. So again, some of the now photos have changed in the 20 odd years since it was published. Doing this review at the end of April 2024. Might seem a bit strange to do a review of a book that's that old, but you can still buy it new, as we'll get to in a bit. It's a really good book. Most of the photos are black and white in it, and as you can see, there's been an attempt made to pick photos that show the background as well. So you can see the trolleybuses in great detail, but there's also a lot going on behind. They're really clearly reproduced. A lot of publishers could do to take a note of the reproduction of the photos in this one. They're really stunningly done. The lettering on the shops and things, and the cinema there in the background, you can see absolutely perfectly. And it's as much interest for the social history of what's going on behind the trolleybuses as the trolleybuses themselves. The system was really interesting. The trolleybuses, it was converted from tram to trolleybus in 1930 was the South Lancashire system. Well, that's when they started converting. And some of the original 1930 trolleybuses were still in use at the end of trolleybus operations in 1958. The same company, South Lancashire Transport, also operated buses under the name Lancashire United Transport. And over time that became more important, so that the South Lancashire Transport trolleybuses were kind of regarded as a subsidiary of the Lancashire United Transport buses. So yeah, when you get to the end of the photographic journey along the routes, there's various other bits and pieces. Some new buses coming in there that were used, as well as other things on the ex-trolleybus routes. Line-up of withdrawn trolleybuses there in the depot. There's a picture there of a Lancashire United motor bus working on the trolleybus route. Still in trolleybus days, but replacing the trolleybus when the availability of them was not very good towards the end. And some pictures there of the last day of trolleybus operation in 1958. Then there's a brief section on the aftermath of closure. You can see some of the replacement buses there. As you can see, they didn't always use new ones, they just used anything from the Lancashire United fleet to run on the routes. Then there's a lovely colour section. As I say, all the photographs in the main part of the book are black and white, but there is a colour section showing the trolleybuses in colour. It's only a few pages, but they are stunning images, especially this one there of the interior of a bus. That's absolute gold dust to anybody who wants to do a model of the South Lancashire trolleybuses. You can see variations in liveries and things there in colour as well. Absolutely lovely photographs. Then there's a fleet list of the trolleybuses themselves, and then there's quite a long section entitled The Fleet in Detail. As I say, some of the original trolleybuses from 1930 remained in service until 1958. A lot of them were heavily rebuilt. Some of them were rebuilt to a lesser degree and some weren't really touched. But this takes you through the various types of trolleybus and how they were rebuilt, the various different types of rebuild they had. They ended up where almost no two were alike, but it's all effectively covered in this section. It's a really interesting read. There is a Manchester trolleybus sneaking in there as well. That just shows you the kind of styling of the front that they employed on the rebuild of their own trolleybuses, as you can see there. So there's a detailed section like that on all the different types of trolleybuses. You can see some of the wartime utility ones there, the post-war types there. Then we get on to the section they always seem to have at the end of trolleybus books, but interesting nonetheless, of various bits of trivia. You've got the list of destinations there that are on the destination blind, the types of bus stop, the interesting petrol bus stop there for motor buses as well, and then you've got a section about strangers under SLT wires. The South Lancashire system was the closest to the Leyland factory, so Leyland sometimes sent trolleybuses there that were for other people to run on test, and this shows some of the trolleybuses from other systems that actually operated on the South Lancashire system. See various different types there. The short section on service vehicles, the kind of wagons they used to maintain the overhead lines and things like that. It was quite an idiosyncratic system, was the South Lancashire one, as well as keeping very old trolleybuses in service with increasingly Heath Robinson maintenance solutions. They did it with the overhead. There's no pictures of it, I don't think, in here, but in a couple of cases the poles that held the overhead wiring up rotted through, and so they actually attached the overhead wiring to a nearby tree instead and just used a convenient tree rather than replace the pole. The picture there, one of the later Manchester trolleybuses, they didn't run on the South Lancashire system even on test. However, they were pulled with the trolley booms, in other words the poles that picked up the power, down on the way from the factory at Blackpool to Manchester on delivery. They were pulled by a lorry underneath the South Lancashire system, although not under their own power. That's why that one's in there. And then just a brief note at the back about tickets. List of the abbreviations that have been used in the book at the end there. And just when you think it had finished, it's bibliography, but there's a map. If I fold that back carefully, you can see there's an absolutely enormous fold out map of the system showing the overhead wiring diagram in the back of the book. So it really is a lot of book for your money. I mean, even if you paid the full £32 for it, which again, don't panic, but I mean, it would be worth it for the map, the photographs, the captions are really well detailed, they tell you what you're looking at, and it really is. But as I say, the photographs are the actual pièce de resistance on this. They really are. The background of them in particular, what's going on behind the trolleybuses. As I say, there's enough, the trolleybus is in focus enough to show you the detail of the actual trolleybuses, like the front three-quarter view kind of thing, but there's enough background detail, a lot of them, to maintain interest, even if people who are not really into trolleybuses. You know, there's enough going on in the background. It really is interesting. I don't have any particular connection to the area that South Lancashire Transport ran through. I've passed through on the train a couple of times, and I've been on diversion from the M62 when it's closed for roadworks on roads in the area and kind of crossed where the routes ran. But I don't have much knowledge or interest really in the area, but this book really does capture my interest. It's one of those, when you open it, you can't put it down again. And it's just because of the quality of the photos, the reproduction of them, but also what's going on in the background. They really are interesting, and I can't recommend it highly enough. So that said, what about price? Well, as I say, you can still get them new. The publisher, Triangle Publishing, are still advertising them new. They're actually advertising them at half price at the moment on their website, which is trianglepublishing.co.uk, or just put Triangle Publishing into your search engine. They're advertising at half price, £16 plus postage, which I had a quick look at the website. It suggests postage is about £3.45, so you're looking at just under 20 quid for a brand new one. Still in stock on the website at the moment. As I say, just search for Triangle Publishing, or it's trianglepublishing.co.uk. I should quickly just explain the title. I should have done that anyway. It was quite a spread out system. As I said, 2 of the routes were among the longest trolleybus routes in the UK. But the centre of it was at Atherton, and the punch bowl in Atherton was kind of the centre of the system. That's why it's called a trolleybus, to the punch bowl. But yeah, the publishers, at the time of doing it, as I say, towards the end of April 2024, are advertising at half price, £16 plus £3.45 postage, brand new. I had a quick look on eBay, and there's only 2 on offer at the moment. I've just had a look this morning for the purpose of this video. One for £28.30 including postage, and one for £29 plus £4.20 postage. Amazon were also advertising it at £23 plus £2.80 postage, so that was the cheapest there. Now this one came from Amazon at £9.98 including postage, so it was a real bargain. And they had 2 of them. They were still advertising it after I bought this one, but unfortunately the other one has sold, so it's not available at the moment. What I would say to you, if you don't want to use Triangle Publishing's website and get one, or you want to get it cheaper than just under 20 quid, just keep having a look at eBay and Amazon. Although at the moment they're well into the 20s, the prices on there. If you keep looking, you will find them cheaper. I had a look a few weeks before I bought this one. I used to own it before this book. This is why I wanted it, because I had it before and I wanted to have it again. But I had a look a couple of weeks before I bought it, and they were well into the top of the 20s. And I was about to buy one from Triangle Publishing. I had another look about a week or so later, and as I say, I found one on Amazon for £9.98 including postage. So you can get cheaper ones if you just wait and have a look, in another week or so's time, a few days' time. Just keep looking, eBay, Amazon, etc. You can find them. The reason it was cheap, it seems to have been stored somewhere damp. You can see, I think, just about on the camera that the top of the page is a bit wrinkled, but the pages are all separate. It doesn't smell of damp. They're all separate. They're not stuck together or anything like that, and they're all legible, so it's not severely damaged, but I think that's why it was cheaper. But yeah, shop around, keep having a look if you want a cheaper one, and you will find one eventually. It's just a case of biding your time. But I thoroughly recommend it, even if you've got no particular interest in the area these trolleybuses ran in, as I haven't. It's a fantastic book, it really is. The photographs just draw you in. As I say, the captions tell you in great detail what's going on in the photo. So if you're not familiar with the area, you don't need to be. The captions explain it all. It really is a brilliant book, so I can't recommend it enough. As always, thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.